years ago, it was all a dream when Dylan and I started the World Elite Podcast, and now 2023, 3 years later, we are going strong. So without any further ado, before the intro plays, I want to send a little toast to 3 years of the World Elite Podcast. Let's go.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Well, hello again, everybody. We are the highest tier potty, your weekly unfiltered wrestling for the last 3 years. Welcome to a special edition of the World Elite Podcast. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. And we are the Hostly Trio. I'm Marcus. He's Dylan. He's Jordan. How are we doing today? Especially this, we say it every year, this milestone, because like it just seems unreal. But how are we feeling tonight?
I'm excited, dude. Like, this is exciting. It's a milestone, just like you said. It's just a milestone episode for us. To make it to 1 year was awesome, and then we made it to 2, and then somehow we made it to 3. So as long as this train keeps on rolling, hey man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm thinking about this show all day, and it's here. We got a great show lined up for everybody. We got topics to talk about. We got some of our favorite moments from this past year to celebrate our 3 years. Hey man, I'm just ready to go. Jordan, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, and I'm pumped for this episode. So let's kill it, boys.
Oh yeah. And hell, I'm even going retro today. I'm actually wearing our very first t-shirt we got made on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Wow.
What shocked me the most was that the first person I saw wear one was your wife.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she doesn't watch it often, but she bought one to support the show whenever we had first came out with it. But I think the only
her husband too, and supporting her husband. How lovely! Look, so here, crazy story. I always love sharing the story. We get to share it once a year on our show, but like anytime I go make a debut on another show, I always love to get asked, what made you come up with World Elite? How did it get started? And I love sharing it, but I figured for new listeners, for guys who just recently joined in and tuned in with us, who hasn't been with us since day one, if you haven't went back and listened to any of our old audios we've done since 2020, or some of the other live streams that are no longer here anymore, that you've always wondered how it happened. Well, Dylan and I, we're going to kind of split it up and tell you in our own words. So I'll let Dylan share it in his words first, how all this got started 3 years ago.
All right. So, same story every year, but like you mentioned, there are people here that have never heard it. And, it's pretty much how everyone got started. I know a lot of shows got started during the pandemic, and that's us. We got started in November of 2020. It was still around the height of it, still wearing the mask and whatnot, still not really able to go out too much. And Marcus and I we're just talking. Like, we kept talking, like, we want to start this. Like, we want to start a podcast, but we don't know really the first step of really starting one. And so we kind of put the idea aside. Like we said, we'll learn it first, and then we'll come back, we'll revisit it, and then we'll really get something going here. But I started doing a Saints podcast with a good friend of mine named Devin Jackson, who I was doing a Saints show with, and doing that really, really got me to learn what was going on. And it was nice. I was able to learn how to edit. I was able to learn how to potentially one day set up a live stream. I was able to learn how to do audio stuff, and it was a major learning experience for me. So it came to the point where Marcus and I revisited the idea, and it all came about, starting a name. There's so many wrestling podcasts out there, and something we learned that there was a ton of wrestling podcasts out there. So it's to find a name. I mean, it's to find a name. You know, a lot of people renamed their stuff after like a wrestling move or like a heel turn or something like that. We don't want to be generic. You know, it's saying they're generic, but you know, I didn't want to name ours after something that was already there. So Marcus had this idea. He pitched one idea to me, and he said another one. He said either this or World Elite. I'm like, damn, that don't sound bad. Because our idea at the time was we're going to be talking World Wrestling Entertainment, All Elite Wrestling. And just so happened, we settled on World Elite. And man, the crazy journey that we've experienced since starting this podcast. Whenever we first started it, I always say that I never paid close attention to it. And that's on me. I, for one, didn't pay close attention to it. And that's my fault, because I feel like if I would have paid attention at the jump, I feel like maybe we'd be bigger than what we are now. And it's to not say that we're not big already, because a lot of people know who we are. We say World Elite Podcast, they know who we are, which is cool. I mean, people know who we are, and that's something I never thought we would ever get out of this. So somewhere down the line, I'll say 2-3 months after starting it, we brought Jordan on. Jordan would join in as he would guest spot a lot. I think he was a guest on like maybe like our second, third episode.
He was our very first guest we brought on.
He was our first guest. Yeah. And it was cool. So yeah, Jordan was our very first guest. He did well. And right there, I can tell the chemistry with all three of us was there. So after we recorded Marcus's little series, Ready to Rumble, it was the season finale. We did a live stream of it, which was crazy. Like it was a time we were doing live streams of it, and we did a live stream of the very last one, and we got off, and I was talking to Marcus. I'm like, dude, I said, that's a crazy idea. I said, why don't we bring Jordan on as a co-host? And instantly Marcus loved the idea. I called Jordan. I said, hey, hop back in StreamYard real quick. I said, we want to talk to you about something. So, I mean, long story short, here we are. I mean, 3 years later, we're all here, and it's been the craziest journey ever. But it's been a fun journey, and I've been having so much fun doing this. 3 years down, and honestly, it's going to be a fun year for us. That coming up until our 4th year. So we have so much big stuff planned coming up, and it's been one hell of a journey. So, I mean, I'll let Marcus explain it in his own words, but I think that's the best possible way you can explain it. It's just two guys sitting around, and they wanted to talk wrestling, and somehow it developed into a fun wrestling podcast, and just two friends and my cousin talking wrestling, and it's been so much fun.
Even before the start of it, you got me into like coming on to Downtown Sports as a writer for AEW. Y'all were looking for someone to write for AEW, and you were also writing for WWE at the time. And at that time, I don't get, how did I love, what's up, Nick? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we got comments coming in. Miss Terry tuning in. How you doing? It's just, oh God, I thought that was an actual Barbie tuning in. You're just tuning in. How you doing, Miss Kim? Thank you. Yes, 3 years. It's crazy. Yo, what's going on? Check out the Tim King Show. Thank you. 3 years with Marcus. Yeah, that's a huge milestone. Wait till 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Go, Kayla. Thank you. Hard to believe. Wow, 4 years of the Queen's Takeover coming up. That they jumped the gun ahead of us. Kayla must have been on Downtown Sports.
Mm-hmm. She was.
For what? For Downtown, was it Downtown Panthers probably, or?
No, it was the wrestling. That's where I met Kayla with Downtown Sports.
Well, I didn't meet Kayla until I noticed Queen's Takeover, so that's how I met all three of them. It's a great story. But yeah, there's more to it. So yeah, while I've noticed he was doing Downtown Saints, which is a podcast, I don't know how I came across I think from watching too much Being the Elite, or even Sammy's vlog, I've kind of noticed podcasting was getting popular. So I was like wanting to get in some way of doing what Dylan did. Well, Dylan was like, well, we're looking for a writer to talk AEW on Downtown Sports. So I came on and I did it for about 2 months. It was a lot of work. I was using 3 different apps to get my articles to look legit. I was using the same apps you were using to make yours legit with WWE. And it was crazy how 3 years ago I was so obsessed with AEW, and it's like now I really don't care for it. I watch it, but I'm not that into it anymore. I'd rather watch WWE because they've gotten better. Well, I kept thinking, I was like, you know what? This is too much work. I'd rather just talk about it with someone like you were doing with your Downtown Saints with Devin at the time. And you brought the idea up there, like, why don't we start a wrestling podcast? And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, I've subscribed to a couple shows and to get some tips of how to be and what to say and what to talk about. And I've got other ideas from other shows that either don't exist no more or I don't listen to anymore, and I subscribed. And I love the idea that I went. A good thing it happened at a good time. They had a pre-Black Friday sale, and I bought a shitload of equipment. Matter of fact, the microphone I'm talking on right now is the same mic I had on our debut show. It's just on a boom arm. Bought a boom arm for it, and I was using this laptop for like a year and a half doing shows until I upgraded and bought this PC a year and a half ago. I just use the laptop for like if I'm looking up shit while we're on the air. That way I don't have to pop our screen off and pop some up. I could just pop it right here. So we came up with that idea, and I wish I remember what the other name was that I was coming up with. Like I was thinking of
trying
names.
to remember. I have no idea.
And they're like, it's taken. I don't know if I was trying to think of something like because we're from Louisiana. I don't remember. And I wanted to try and focus on just WWE and AEW. That's how I got the name World Elite. But we don't talk about just them anymore. Ever since Kenny Omega then brought the Bullet Club and joined in Impact, I was like, we got to talk Impact now. Whenever one UFC pay-per-view fight, I'm like, okay, now we got to talk UFC. And then remember when we tried to do a football podcast, football fandom, and I'm like, okay, now I kind of want to talk sports, but we tried it for a bit. We were kind of losing people stopped tuning in when we would talk sports instead of wrestling. So we kind of went our own separate ways with that. You guys do Dome Field Advantage. I do SAT. I just started SAT Sports in May. So, and they're all it was all fun and games with that. But yeah, I think what was crazy too was I don't know how many times we got that logo changed, like the first 3 months doing this show. Like
too much. Even the artwork and everything. The theme song, I was rushed trying to find something to use for a short bit. One day I was jamming to a 90s radio station and Ready to Go by Republica came on. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's a fucking good intro right there. And I just cut out the guitar part. I said, we just need a little short, quick intro, not even 15 seconds. And then we came up with other ideas. We've used non-copyright songs. I remember we used one called Beast. That sounded pretty cool. And then you found somebody that makes intros, and we've gotten crazy intros made. I think you've even made them yourself at one point. And then we got, what was his name? I think his name's Chaos. He's the one that does our current one. Well, he did our last 2, but he does our current one. And credit to Queen's Takeover. They're the ones that actually recommended Chaos to me because he does the one for Queen's Takeover.
I remember you told him, you're like, get with Marcus. He's the one who's going to give you the ideas for the intro. I said, okay, well, talk about some Louisiana. We have a biased love-hate relationship with the Raging Cajuns because we're LSU Tigers. And then that's where he said, so what does it mean to be a Raging Cajun? Because fucking LSU fans tell you all that every fucking time we play in baseball. And it's so awesome. Like, I was nipple mania when I heard that. I'm like, he fucking said it.
That's too good.
Because they always tell us, what does it mean to be Tiger bait? And I'm like, what does it mean to be a Raging Cajun? It's like, that's actually a saying we tell them when we play them in like baseball. And it's awesome. Yeah. So the logo we have now, I mean, yeah, it was time for a change. Like the last 2 years, we went LSU colors and we wanted to change it up a bit. I kind of like what we have now. I do miss the Globe logo that we got made. What's up, Freddie? Sure, check him and I out tomorrow night on YouTube on SAT Sports. I hope we get a lot of people tuning in because, a spoiler alert, Freddie and I are going to grade every single on-season tournament basketball court and uniform for all 30 teams. That was a lot of pictures I uploaded. There's a lot I like. There's a lot I hate. But there's some I've seen on TV that look good, that looks like shit on pictures. Circle of Debate, what is up? Thank you, Epic 3 anniversary, for continuing this incredible podcast. So, yeah, it was kind of that was kind of my side of the story. And also, we started with Skype, jumped to what was the other one? We started with Skype, then we jumped to the same program Queen's Takeover uses. I forgot. And then we jumped to StreamYard.
Yeah, we did Zoom also.
We did Zoom.
Yeah. That shit sucks. I hate it, dude.
Yeah, we started with
Skype. Skype made it sound like shit. Zoom was decent, but I didn't care for it too much. And then when I somehow discovered StreamYard, it was like God's gift.
Everybody uses StreamYard.
It's either StreamYard or that Streamlabs or something people use as well. But yeah, StreamYard is what most people that I know use.
Yeah. I always recommend StreamYard. Look at some of the best use it. Chris Jericho uses it for Talk is Jericho. Kurt Angle and Paul Bromwell use it for the Kurt Angle show. If you still listen to AEW Unrestricted, they use StreamYard. Like, it's amazing. Yes, I hate it that we use it. Plus, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to gain access. You ain't got to type no special passcode or password. You haven't been on their show. There's another program I've used. I've only used it twice. Whenever I was a guest with Kyle from the Apron Bump, he uses a whole different program. That one was kind of a pain in the ass to get. Also, and wish me luck, because spoiler alert, I am going back on the Apron Bump podcast next month with Kyle to talk Bad Blood 2003. So be sure to check that out. It's going to drop sometime in December, because he's on a schedule with how he's doing his episodes, looking back at Ruthless Aggression pay-per-views or WCW or Ring of Honor or this. He's going on a timeline with that. And next is Bad Blood, and I requested it a while back, and he hit me back up, and he's like, "You still want to do it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I still want to do it." I've been waiting to talk about that one for a while. So yeah, that was kind of our story. And still going strong. By the way, we got brand new merchandise. We haven't really been advertising lately. So I mean, there is a link in our description, probably on Twitter. I have to go back and check it out and get a new shirt or whatnot. They actually, remember, they sell crazy shit. You could buy a fucking skateboard with our logo on it. You could buy a handbag. You could buy a phone case. There's all kind of shit. Like, I haven't advertised that in a while. Sponsorships, a big thank you to 80s T's been hanging with us the longest out of any other sponsor. You know, we somehow still got Rogue Energy. We don't really talk about them anymore. We somehow still got W Energy, but we don't talk about that anymore. Manscaped, we lost them through an actual major layoff in the company. So they didn't just lay off actual employees. They actually unsponsored podcasts they haven't been with more than 6 months. And we made the cut because we only were with them, 2 months before they let us go?
Yeah,
something like that. Oh, we also had Wrestle Champs, the mobile card game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I think that's all we've had with sponsors.
As far as I know.
I remember over the years I tried to get Magic Spoon to sponsor us, the cereal.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried to get that. What was that? Was it like freaking Nebraska meat? Or like I've actually, some I've never told you about. I've tried to get a meat company to sponsor us and it didn't work out. You've tried to get a couple sponsors and it didn't work out. Like, but we've gotten some. Remember Blue Chew offered us a sponsorship. I'm like, yeah, a Viagra pill or a gummy to sponsor us. But we declined. You remember that?
Oh, I think so. I think that shit was a scam.
Oh, that'd have been kind of funny if we'd have got sponsored by a Viagra gummy called Blue Chew. That'd have been funny. We'd have went hard on this show. So, man, we've talked 20 minutes about our history. We need to finish this real quick because we do have a couple of topics we want to talk about. Not a lot, but we got a little bit to talk about. So I'm going to just ask one simple little question or two. Within the last year, name some of your favorite live streams we've done or prediction shows, some favorite guesses we've had or topics we've covered in the last year. Give me some of y'all's favorites here. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. Well, it wasn't a live stream, but it was one of our biggest interviews this year, and that's Mike Chioda. Was one of my favorites by far. The stories, just hearing from his point of view, some of the cool things that he witnessed, like backstage, and some of the cool superstars that he's worked with and stuff like that. Yeah, it was cool. As far as live streams goes, I mean, I'm not hating last week's. Last week's was a lot of fun. We had some fun. There was a lot of laughs and whatnot. Jordan fucking killed us. The firefighter line that killed me right there. I have the video, like a screen recorded on my phone, and I'd go back and watch it so many times. I'm not saying for a good reason why this live stream happened, but when we had Jody on for the Bray Wyatt live stream, that was a special one. It was our most viewed one, and it was our most viewed for a bad reason because of what happened with Bray Wyatt and whatnot. But she was a special guest. I hope to get her back at some point on the show because she was fun to talk to, the stories she shared and whatnot. As far as audio goes, honestly, I don't think we've done many audio this year. You've done a lot of nostalgia stuff, and that's really what's been keeping our audios going. So as far as audio goes, I don't have a ton to offer on that end, but I from what I know, whenever you get to it, then obviously you'll have more because you've done a crap ton of nostalgias this year. But really, that's all I got. You know, we've had some fun this year, but
it was our roughest year so far, I can tell you that, especially with attendances. You know, Jordan missed majority of 2023 with the gallbladder removal, and then you've had some issues with sick days and whatnot, and I've had issues with having to work over or games or having it was hard to try and keep a decent schedule, and then it was always other shit on the side, like good or bad. Like it was a very bumpy ass year, but we got over it. But it was nobody's fault. You know, I figured if there was one year we were gonna have a shitty year, it was gonna obviously be the third year. Third time's the charm didn't work for us this year, but we got over it. We went through we've been through hell and back, but we keep on coming back. Keep on.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, any episodes we've done in the last year you really enjoyed a lot? Any favorites?
Last week.
Okay. I wish you should have brought the firefighter hat on and everything.
Oh man, that would have been great.
Oh, I don't have it no more.
Go get your fire hose.
Doing our prediction shows, I had fun. Almost every show we did was a blast. And I can't wait to.
So on the live stream side, I'll keep it real quick. Probably I will, like you said, maybe one of our best interviews had to been Mike Chioda. Like that was like a huge win for us to getting him on. Like a legend and a veteran like Mike Chioda. Like you don't get that a lot. I'll say probably one of the best wrestlers we interviewed. I'm gonna say Clark Connors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one too. We didn't really interview a lot of wrestlers. I mean, we interviewed a couple of indie wrestlers, but I think probably the biggest wrestler we got in the last year was Clark Connors. You can see him now either in New Japan or occasionally he wrestled in AEW for a bit. But like I think Mike Chioda was the biggest interview we got. I think one of our biggest interviews in the last year was the Bray Wyatt tribute show. I'll say the biggest live stream was the Bray Wyatt tribute show. We were about 30 or 40 amount of people away from 1,000 views. It was our highest watched episode ever in the history of our show, in the history of my years on YouTube. I never had really no more than like 1.5 on my own freaking YouTube channel, but that was huge. So when it comes to like, I'm throwing prediction shows, I'm stuck on 2. I thought our WrestleMania prediction show was very interesting, especially since it was in Hollywood. WrestleMania was in Hollywood. I made it feel like we were on a game show. I wore the freaking blazer, rest like that, which was kind of funny. I think our most watched prediction show was Money in the Bank when we brought on Kayla and Mama Larissa. That was our most watched prediction show of the year. So I will give cred to Mama Larissa and Kayla for bringing in some viewers for that. And hearing Mama Larissa's story of how she thought Randy Orton was just a smitten. That was fun. But when it comes to live audio episodes, so nostalgias, I narrowed it down to like 3. The very first nostalgia I recorded after 2 years, the one you and I did for Survivor Series 2002, I really enjoyed that one. Basically anyone I've done with the podcast Brothers of Destructions, we miss them so fucking much. I can't wait till Justin and Jeremy are back on. But when I did Armageddon 2000 with both of them last December, that one was very fun to do. When I did No Way Out 2003 with Justin, we had fun doing that one. From Ready to Rumble, that was kind of hard picking a favorite I did on that one. Probably will say maybe either 2007 or 2003. That was a favorite. Favorite audio we all 3 did together. You made a graphic about it. Like you always see how you make those quotes. Like you made one of me saying I would like beat the fuck out of Dominic Mysterio or something.
I remember that. That was so good.
You made one when I said we're already in a new year, and this was, I think, the best episode we ever done when we did our Raw 30-year anniversary episode, because I edited it myself. I was the one who planned it. It took me a year and a half to get it the way I wanted to do it, and we each did a category. I did the Attitude Era. You did the Ruthless Aggression Era. He did today. We did our top 10 moments from each like era, and we narrowed it down to 30 because it was 30 years. And I had a fucking fun time editing that one and laughing the whole time doing it. It was still one of my favorites of all time I've ever done. I don't know if it's the audio episode of the year. That's kind of a tough one, but it's definitely one of my favorites that I've done. Back to the Mania. Yeah, it was cut short, but season 3 of Back to the Mania is going to get relaunched in 2024. The episodes I had written down previously for it, we're going to still do them. I'm going to add in WrestleMania 15 on it because since WrestleMania is in Philly. So I'm looking for either somebody in the Philly area. We got a lot of friends in Philly, or if there's even better, if there was anybody that attended WrestleMania 15 25 years ago, please come on the show and tell me the story of being there in person. Hello, Mama Larissa. We just mentioned you, and thank you. Thank you. This now, Boys of SummerSlam. I don't know what was my favorite on that one. I never really pulled one out of the hat for that one. What's going on, Eli? Happy. Okay. Hey, he also forgot to mention the Pelicans and the Timberwolves are playing tomorrow night as well. So we get 5 days of New Orleans versus Minnesota. 2 games in 5 days in 2 different sports.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. I didn't pick a favorite for the Boys of SummerSlam. Probably SummerSlam 05. I don't know. But I just started Series Survivors. I already got 1 episode out. I did Survivor Series 92 with JD. I recorded SummerSlam 2003 last night with Cordell, and episode's going to drop later this week. I got both of y'all coming on for Survivor Series 2011, and I got Tim King coming on for Survivor Series 1990. So I got 2 episodes left of this season. And I'll probably take a break from nostalgia episodes until we get to Rumble season. But because I did a lot. Like, it's a lot of work. So go back and watch these pay-per-views all over again, jot notes down, and get a scheduled time to record it, and then take 2 days to edit the awesome way, and then transferring it to you and getting it up on whatever program you use to get the audio episodes up. I mean, have you always used the same one these last 3 years, or have you shifted around with different programs?
I have used the exact same one for the entire 3 years we've been doing this show.
And which is
Spreaker. Yeah.
I was about to say Spreaker. Well,
Yeah.
Well, since I've learned how to edit episodes to kind of give you a big break, I have been using Mixcraft 9, and I recommend that for anyone who wants to learn how to edit episodes and add clips and sound effects and music. What's up on? Thank you on the Sidelines podcast. I mean, we can keep this train going on positive notes, or do you want to hear a little bit of negativity? I'm going to leave that one up to you two.
Fuck it, I'll let Jordan decide. Are we gonna stay positive, or we're gonna get the negative out the way?
Let's just get the negative out the way.
Negative out the way. Here we go. I have a major rant for one particular wrestling company that has not been around long enough to know that enough is enough. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Thank you. And hey, I mentioned you a couple times on the show. Armageddon 2000 and No Way Out 2003 were two of my favorite audios I did with you and your brother. I can't wait to have you guys back on, do some more nostalgia down the road. All right. AEW. Tony Khan. I have three bones to pick with you. Three. I remember two for sure. I'm trying to remember that third one. Number one. Why did you sign Ric Flair? Something tells me he signed to wrestle again. I have an itchy feeling he's going to be Sting's last match at Revolution. Something tells me Rick's going to be Sting's last match, and we don't want that. If you're going to sign him, you need sign him as a manager. Sign him just to cut promos on people. I don't want to see Rick have a third retirement match. I barely got through the second one.
Since we didn't do a stream when we were supposed to talk about it, since you brought it up, who do you actually think is going to be Sting's last match? Because if we want to see Ric Flair die in the ring, then it'll be him, but I don't think it will. So if you could pick anybody, who do you think it should be?
I kind of want to see Darby Allin fight Sting. If
Darby should be Darby. It should be Darby. He's been with Darby for the longest time. Yeah. That's the perfect send-away match to beat Darby Allin.
My backup is Christian Cage.
Yeah, but I think it should be more Darby than anything. He's been with Darby forever.
But yeah, but you know it ain't gonna happen. They're gonna relive WCW all over again because Sting was Flair's first match and last match on Nitro before they went off the air. Flair's gonna have a third retirement, obviously. Number two, we do not want to see Paul White wrestle again. You saw how he stood on the ring. He was one step away of blowing a kneecap. He's the mystery partner. I'm so glad I'm going to an LSU game that night. I am not watching Full Gear. It already looks like shit. I'm not even hyped for Jay White and MJF anymore. I'm just waiting for Adam Cole to take off the devil mask, and it was him all along, and he's been playing hickey of not being his partner because Adam, he's Roger Strong's little butt boy. They have been so shit lately. And finally, Tony Khan. Everything you do does not have to be a major announcement. You have to take a shit. You don't have to make it breaking news that you got to take a shit. Go. All this time you're advertising about a huge announcement, and your huge announcement was tickets for All In go on sale 9 months early. Really? I was expecting a freaking debut coming or something. Tony Khan needs to go. I can't deal with his mediocrity anymore. Him turning AEW into a freaking circus with old timers. And Adam Copeland is shit in AEW right now. He cannot cut a promo to save his life. He's good in the ring. He can't cut a promo. And that's not the Adam Copeland I remember last 20 5 years in WWE. He was so good on the mic in WWE. He's like he's green in AEW. Maybe the only other positive thing AEW mentioned was they're bringing a new pay-per-view at the end of the year. So good, they're actually going to other places. Yeah, it ain't in Chicago and it's not in Vegas. They're announcing a pay-per-view called World's End on December 30th in Long Island, New York, in MJF's hometown. Cool. I might watch it. But definitely ain't watching Full Gear. I know Tony had some awful decisions, but for the love of God, don't put Rick. Thank you, Justin. Don't put Rick. Ric Flair falls on the canvas. He's going to get crop dusted. This is so bad. What did I say wrong? Or is he talking about AEW?
Talking about yeah, he's probably talking about everything AEW that they're doing right now.
When it's Wednesday, I'm more hyped for SAT Sports than watching Dynamite. I'll put it on, but if it's getting bad, I'm gonna go put on an NBA game or an NHL game. Or now we got college basketball back, which I might watch a little bit of that too on Wednesdays. There's a lot on my plate on Wednesdays now that I can watch.
Same here. I got a lot to watch, dude. I got Survivor, The Masked Singer. Finally, the World Series is over, so I can watch The Masked Singer now. So really, if I don't have AEW on my iPad, I think last week was the first time in a long time that I missed a whole episode of Dynamite, and it really didn't bother me because I heard how bad it was. It just seemed off the entire night, is from what I'm hearing. I didn't watch highlights. I didn't see nothing from it. I just heard how off it was, and it was not that good at all. And it truly didn't bother me because I have other stuff I watch on Wednesdays that seem to be a lot better than what AEW is putting on right now. And you're talking Adam Copeland as well. And you also notice how when he comes out, he doesn't go to one side of the stage no more because there's nobody there. There's no one there. That dude, it's bad, man. Like to see the attendance is bad. The attendance is bad. Like we talked about this a few weeks ago. The attendance is horrible. And they could get mad at people sharing the pictures of the hard cam side, how bad it looks and whatnot. But I mean, it's not exactly good either. So yeah, so I don't blame Adam Copeland for not running to that side because he's going to be looking at nobody.
Hell, he was running to the empty side during the pandemic. Jordan, what's your take on AEW's decision making lately?
It's been horrible. Last week it was bad. I told Dylan how bad it was, and Ric Flair, I don't know what he's gonna do. So the last time we saw him in the ring, he was tagging up with Andrade, right?
Yeah, I guess Jeff Jarrett
Jay Lethal. Ric Flair's last match, and that was SummerSlam weekend.
He almost
in
died.
2021.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was fair, and I fucking paid for that shit, dude. Like that's so I'm the fucking idiot with this. I paid for that.
You paid to almost watch a man die.
Crazy, dude.
If he would have died, at least the proceeds would have went to him. But I'm trying not to be a dick because there's a lot of critics in this world, but I feel like the only way we're not going to see Ric Flair wrestle ever again is if he's 6 feet under. I'm not saying I want him dead. I just feel like that's the only way we're never going to see him wrestle again is when he's called up to heaven and he's buried 6 feet deep. Because he reminds me of Mae Young. Like, I'm going to wrestle till I'm 100.
Man.
You're already like, how old is he now? Like freaking 90? Nah, he's probably he's in his 70s right now. I think he's like 75 or 76. Oh.
Dude, fucking Mae Young was old as dust, and she was getting power bombed by Bubba Ray Dudley off the stage on Monday Night Raw.
Getting hit with a guitar by Jeff Jarrett. Oh no, that was Moolah that got hit with the guitar, not Mae Young. No, Mae Young got power bombed off the table. I don't know what else happened to her. She took a lot of hits. He's 73 years old. Okay. All right. My rant with AEW's done. Let's talk about Crown Jewel that happened this past Saturday. I'll go first. I'm gonna make it quick. This show was actually pretty good. I don't know what was the best pay-per-view in Saudi. I mean, this one was actually decent. I felt like the crowd was dead. The the attendance, I don't know if that was really 10,000 people in there, but they said the attendance was around 10,000. But that is a small little like venue they're in. They don't go. They don't really go in stadiums anymore. They go in a friggin' Superdome that looks like a convention center, or they go into this place that highly got renovated. Remember, they used to have no roof, and now they have a whole roof in this like theater arena. They got the Mohammed Abdul Arena on the boulevard. But unfortunately, I didn't get to watch Sami Zayn and JD McDonough because when I was watching the pre-show, I was watching it on Peacock, and so, shut the fuck up. Which I can't talk bad about Roman right now. I heard he's actually not doing well with his leukemia. Like, he's actually... Oh, you fucking dirt sheets.
Kind of the fakenews.com or something.
Well, I wish I'd have got to watch this match. They said Sami Zayn, like, walked over him and beat his ass. But Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, good match. For your sake, I was hoping Seth would have lost, but Seth kept the title. So now that tells me Seth's going to keep the World Heavyweight Championship all the way to WrestleMania. I don't know if they're going to make Drew a heel now. We'll see when the time goes. The Fatal 5, I knew Damian Priest wasn't going to cash in, but I didn't think he was going to get his briefcase stolen by Sami Zayn. The Fatal 5-Way was good. Man, Rhea Ripley looks so good. Ooh, I love the fact her hair's growing back. I didn't get her intro, by the way, with all the guys coming out. I didn't get that.
That was
odd. But I like the fact, like, some of them, not all of them wore bodysuits. Like, Shayna Baszler wore her like a martial arts outfit. Looked like she was in a dojo. I liked how like they were trying to get rid of Nia Jax out of the match, but Rhea kind of survived this one. Solo Sikoa and John Cena, very good match. I wanted to give it match of the night, but I will not give it match of the night. But I was kind of surprised they let Solo go over. People think it's the end of John Cena already. They think he's going to retire, but I think he's going to probably disappear until WrestleMania season. But it was great. They gave Solo like this big push. Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio, we called it. We said Logan was going to win the title. I'm not upset that he won it. That just gives me what I want. I want to see a Logan Paul LA Knight feud at WrestleMania for that championship. But the main question was, did Santos do that on purpose? Did he take those brass knucks and just place them there for Logan? Some tells me he may not turn on Ray that night, but some tells me down the road we're going to have a long-term storytelling where Santos is going to kick Ray out of the LWO. They're going to have a feud, probably going into WrestleMania. But I will give Logan Paul credit for damn near saving Rey Mysterio's career. He almost landed on his head, tipped that moonsault, and the way Logan Paul caught him. I will give him credit for that. But I still don't like you, man. Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Kairi Sane made the match even more better. I'm so glad she's back. I'm hoping we get that faction that they used to have back in the day with them two and Asuka and whoever else. What were they, the Triple Tails or something like that, New Japan? I don't remember. But Io Sky looked like she was dressed in a 90s hip-hop breakdancing music video. I loved her attire. She retains. I completely forgot about Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. Cody Rhodes overcoming Judgment Day. The best part of the whole night was when Dominic was coming out with that steel chair, and out of nowhere, Jey Uso came out of the crowd, super kicked his head off. I watched it 2 or 3 times, and I laughed hysterically. Cody won, obviously. And then the main event was so predictable. But I will give it to LA Knight, making it so damn interesting to watch. But we knew he was not going to win on his own. Eventually, Jimmy Uso was going to get involved, and he was going to retain his title. But that's going to push him up more because look at guys like Sami Zayn and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. They are so big right now, even though they lost to Roman. LA Knight is just going to get even bigger and bigger and bigger after hanging in with the Tribal Chief for 20 minutes and 5 seconds. So, and we all know Roman, we're probably not going to see him. We're not going to see him again till the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. But I said too much. Give me your full take on Crown Jewel. What you think of the show? What was the match of the night? There was really no bad match, so that gets a pass.
So I'm kind of do what you did. Is go through match by match, kind of give like a quick 10-second thought for everything because I really got nothing else to offer but that. Sami Zayn and JD, I didn't watch it, so I got nothing really on that one. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Drew should have won. I think Drew has proven that he deserves a world championship victory in front of a live audience. The Fatal 5-Way, I picked Nia Jax. I'm an idiot. Rhea Ripley, of course, looked good in this match, and of course, she's continuing her dominating reign. She's gonna have a great match with Zoe Stark at Survivor Series. Can't wait for that one. Solo and John Cena, fucking Solo dominated the entire match. He won clean over the greatest of all time, and that was a fantastic way of doing it. Let's see, Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, credit to Logan Paul for saving not only his career but his life, dude. Ray could have really legit hurt himself right there. So credit to Logan for catching him. And I think that was a cool way, I think, of turning Santos. He didn't turn, but it's like he turned at the same time because he legit left those brass knucks for Logan Paul to get him. So that was the way of turning without actually hitting Ray, and we got no context behind it. So hopefully on SmackDown they give us something, and I really think it'll be the way of turning him. Io Sky and Bianca, it was a good match. The Saudi crowd had absolutely no idea who Kairi Sane was. She got zero reaction for when she returned. Wish they would have saved her maybe for Survivor Series, unless they got somebody bigger, CM Punk, to come back. Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, also a good match. Cody and Damian always deliver. It was a really good match. And of course, they're leading up to this somehow story that's still going on. Should have ended at WrestleMania, but it's the longest goddamn story of all time. Hopefully it ends sooner or later. And Roman Reigns and LA Knights, it's lather, rinse, repeat. We get the same shit over and over. Bloodline gets involved, and it's the same old shit. Can't win on his own, can't win clean, and we see this all the time. So it was too predictable for me. Of course, everyone's complaining on the internet that it's the same shit, and I agree with them. He can be a heel, but I mean, I've seen heels win on their own. When JBL had that long title reign with that title, WWE title, I mean, yeah, there was some matches he was winning with help, but some he was winning on his own. It's never on his own. It's never clean. It's the same old shit. It's so predictable. So seeing Roman on a card, you just know it's going to be interference. If he's at the Rumble, he's going to win with interference. If he wrestles at one of the PLEs before Mania, he's going to get help. But the one that I'm ready for is WrestleMania. We do know, or I mean, the rumors have it that it's Cody Roman at Mania 40 in Philly, and I'm hoping that's where we finally see the longest story of all time end, with Cody winning the title, with hopefully no interference, or if there is interference, he's able to overcome it with some help of his own. The show itself was good. The crowd was awful. It wasn't the worst Saudi show, obviously. The worst one, obviously, was with the Brothers of Destruction against DX, and then they had Shane McMahon win the Best in the World Tournament and all that. That was awful. This one wasn't bad, though. I just wish the crowd was better, but what can you do?
They were also talking about it could be an I Quit match at WrestleMania with Cody and Roman. Rhea's interest was cool because women in that country have always been treated bad. They are still treated badly. They can't vote. They can't drive. They can't walk the streets alone without an adult supervision, and they can't show skin. There's probably more to it than that. Justin said what Santos did was definitely intentional, but doesn't help the fact that he still looks incredibly stupid. Yeah, I'm waiting for that heel turn eventually. But yeah, supposedly they're saying it's supposed to be an I Quit match. That's what the rumors are. I'm not guaranteeing nothing, but overall, I mean, it was a good show, but the crowd was just not into it. I think everybody was too hungover from Riyadh season. Whatever they drink over there.
I don't know.
Anyhow. Wait, what's that? You guys hear that? I hear it. Y'all don't hear it? Dude, I hear it. Y'all don't hear it?
Oh.
I didn't go yet for Crown Jewel.
Oh, what do you think of Crown Jewel? You made me kill the vibe, but what did you think of Crown Jewel? Come back.
Yeah, every match was great. I liked the Seth match. I think McIntyre should have won. I liked the Cody and Damian Priest match, the Cena and stuff, and yeah, I think Santos I think he put it there. So, but the whole show I liked it.
I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You think Roman's ever going to retain the title on his own, or he's going to keep getting help from the bloodline?
Getting help.
Yeah. Wait, I hear it again. Y'all don't hear that? Dude, I hear it. Can't believe y'all. Oh, shit. Y'all hear it? Tell me y'all hear it. I know y'all hear it. Oh, it's coming back. War Games is back. And look, his facial reaction was, I don't know what the hell Adam Pearce was on, but he did his best William Regal impression. I'm so glad they're bringing War Games back. That might be my favorite Dangerous match ever now. And I'm so glad they're not doing this SmackDown versus Raw bullshit. It was going to be an epic fail. They went left field with this one. The fact that Roman said he wasn't going to be in Chicago. Fine. Bring us War Games back, and we're getting it. By the way, I love the poster with Cody Rhodes with the camo face paint. Mm-hmm. Definitely now in my top 5 or top 10 Survivor Series posters of all time. I'm eventually share on a live stream. I'm about to get y'all to share as y'all's too. But I kind of called it. I said it's going to be Judgment Day in one team. The other team, now I did say Seth was going to be in it. He's in it. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn. My 4th guy was Kevin Owens, but instead it's Jey Uso, which is fine. Keep it like this. I don't want 5-on-5 this year. Leave it 4-on-4. People think that Drew's going to turn heel and join the Judgment Day and join their team. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings here. I've seen all the last few months on one particular person, the last 24 hours on another particular person, but I am sorry. Chicago fans, Chicago natives, other wrestling fans all over the world, I'm sorry, but number one, CM Punk is not coming back to WWE. He's not going to return at Survivor Series. And what I just saw earlier today, they want Drew McIntyre to be the 5th member of Judgment Day. To have Randy Orton come back and be the 5th member of Cody and Seth and Sammy and Jay's team, Randy Orton is not in good shape. I don't think Randy Orton's coming back ever again. Randy Orton's still got back issues. Stop believing what the dirt sheets of Dave Meltzer and all them are saying. Randy Orton's not coming back. It's over. The Legend Killer is done. The Viper has been put away. Randy Orton had a severe back injury, just as worse as Shawn Michaels. I don't think he's coming back. And it sucks to say that, but it's not good for Randy Orton. And you know my feelings about CM Punk. He ain't coming back to WWE. Triple H ain't going to play that bullshit. Neither is Adam Pearce or oh shit. Damn it. SmackDown GM, Mickey James' husband.
Oh, Nick Aldis.
If this stays as just a War Games match for just Raw, then the whole story for the Judgment Day. Thank you. Now, here's another suggestion. Whenever I was looking at the match card, they already got like 3 matches lined up for Survivor Series. They got that. They got Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark for the Women's World Championship. There was another match I saw for Survivor Series. Gunther and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm calling it now. I think the Women's War Games match will be on SmackDown. It's going to be Damage Control. Maybe I don't know if Dakota's back. Maybe Kairi Sane might be on that team. The Women's War Games match will be on SmackDown. The men's will be on Raw. But the Women's War Games match, I think it's going to have a play with Io Sky and Bayley and Kairi Sane and whoever else. Maybe like Shotzi, maybe Selena Vega. You know, Shotzi still got issues with Bayley cutting her hair. I don't know how that's going to play about. But I feel like the Women's War Games match will be on the SmackDown side. The men's is, of course, the Raw side. But Adam Pearce, man. I will give him credit for doing his best William Regal impression. That was Nipple Mania running wild for me. But give me your take on this War Games match they announced, and what do you believe will happen for the women's War Games in your head?
I mean, if you're gonna keep the men's War Games match on Raw, then just like you said, I think it just stays SmackDown for the women. The women's division on SmackDown is pretty legit, so I can see them doing something over there. But they have to actually build it. They actually have to build some sort of storyline going into this, because if you just piece together something, it's not going to make people interested whatsoever. And yeah, last night I didn't catch much Monday Night Raw. I watched more towards the end because I was watching that very lackluster Monday Night Football game that god awful, and then I was watching LSU women's basketball get drilled by Colorado.
Season's over.
I don't think so. It's just new faces learning how to play together. So I think they'll figure it out. Kim Mulkey is a genius. She'll be fine. The team itself is going to be fine. But going back to that, Adam Pearce did a fantastic job. What an announcement. He's not better than Regal. He's not better than Regal, but this was good. It was a good announcement. As far as Survivor Series itself, I'm not going to talk CM Punk whatsoever. I'm not going to go and say he's not coming back, because if he does, then I know that people we know from Chicago are more than likely going to come back to the show, and they're going to absolutely have a field day with you for saying he's not coming back. And it'll be something. It'll be something if he comes back. They've been laying all kind of Easter eggs that he's going to be coming back. He was next to that person in that show that was wearing the WWE logo inside of his blazer.
Dirt Sheet said that.
But they didn't just say it. There was an actual picture on the internet. It's everywhere.
Could have been photoshopped.
It was not photoshopped. I saw the live video of the guy talking next to Punk. He had the thing inside the blazer. It wasn't photoshopped. But it'll be something if he comes back. I know there's a lot of things he has to work out with some people over there. So it'll be for Punk fans, it'll be a miracle if he comes back. I necessarily don't want him there, but honestly, do never doubt what Triple H can do. Honestly, at this point, they could be working out relationships as we speak with CM Punk and some of the talent over there in WWE. So it'll be something if he comes back. Now, Randy Orton, I haven't heard much on him. I'm not believing dirt sheets, because if I believe him, I would just believe what you said earlier about Roman Reigns, and I haven't seen a thing about that on the internet, because I believe that would have made a big story if that was a thing. But yeah, I'm not believing too much about Orton. He's been looking in good shape lately. I'm not sure good wrestling shape, but he has been looking good. I know his wife's been posting a lot of pictures on her Instagram, and he's looking in fantastic shape. So maybe somewhere down the line we'll see a return of Randy Orton, which I would love to see him come back. But yeah, for right now, being that there's only about 3 matches on the card for Survivor Series, I'm looking at it, the excitement level's pretty there. It's kind of weird with the Miz being there against Gunther. I think it's just an easy win for Gunther. War Games match is going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark. That's going to be a fantastic match.
Jordan?
Yeah, if they're gonna keep it on Raw, they should keep it with SmackDown. And yeah, the way he said War Games, he took his glasses off and he was like, and he just screamed War Games. I was like,
sounded like he was straining.
And yeah, with Randy Orton, I haven't saw anything. So, and then with CM Punk, I don't care.
So I've seen. I'll tell you a fact here. I've seen a lot of shitty War Games matches, especially in WCW. But ever since they brought it to NXT, every War Games match they did in NXT was fucking fantastic. Especially if it involved the Undisputed Era at the time. Even the women's ones were damn good. When WWE adopted it a year ago, I thought it was a one-off, but I was like, they need to make this permanently. If you're not going to do Survivor Series elimination matches anymore. Just adopt it to War Games, because if you're not going to give it its own premier live event, then drop the Survivor Series elimination matches and do this, because they have been killing it. I like their version better than Blood and Guts. I mean, I love Blood and Guts structure look, but WWE's is kind of just a regular double steel cage. I mean, you don't have to put a roof on it or have it touch the floor. The focus is just to keep all the participants in both rings, not get out. Back in the day, that was a rule where if you got out of the ring, your team automatically lost. You're supposed to keep people in the match, and you win by pinfall or submission. I mean, I rather that than a forfeit than what AEW was doing. But I said, I didn't know it was really going to be a thing until I watched Crown Jewel Saturday. I loved how I was the last one to know about this in the group chat. Y'all already knew about it, probably because y'all watched SmackDown and I didn't. But I didn't know about War Games until I watched Crown Jewel. Because
that was my first time seeing it.
SmackDown was a taping. That's why I didn't watch it. It was a pre-recorded episode. And I'm like, oh, I ain't watching this shit. When I first saw
Did they
that,
announce it on SmackDown?
They obviously did. If everyone already knew about it before me, and I watched Crown Jewel live, you came after me with a knife saying, "Bro, we already knew about this."
No, like, because you said someone in there said no spoilers. I went through that whole chat. I didn't see no one say no spoilers for that, and that wasn't a spoiler anyway. It wasn't giving off the result of a match or nothing like that. It's just this War Games. That was my first time seeing the video promo. Well, so that may have been the first time they announced it.
He meant like, don't say what happened at Crown Jewel. So I was fucking with you. I'm like, don't say.
Yeah, I know.
But I didn't know. I freaked out like, oh shit, it's back. And then it comes out Ozzy Osbourne. Generals gathered in their masses. Just like witches at black masses. Evil minds, blood destruction. Sorcerer of death's construction.
Please leave it to Ozzy to do that.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Jesus.
I love War Games. Like, I want to kind of do a War Games marathon now. I want to go back and watch as many War Games matches as I can. But that's a lot. But I'd like to, hell, I would love to go back and do a nostalgia on one, but maybe next year I can do that. But I was actually supposed to do one back in September, but I never did it. I was supposed to do Fall Brawl 98, but never did it. But you know, now that they announced that there's going to be a category on Peacock where you can go back and watch every War Games match. So I'm going to eventually, during my spare time when I'm not watching football or whatever, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I think this one's going to be a banger. The fact that I also get to see Dominic get his ass kicked in War Games. But he ain't going to get his ass kicked as hard as JD McDonough. He's been the laughing stock of the team. This is Cody Rhodes' first ever War Games match, a match that his dad made famous, so that's going to be fun to watch. Main event, Jay's back in War Games. Sami Zayn's back in War Games. We get to see Seth freaking Rollins in War Games match. Let's go. I'm excited for this. I hope it's a match of the year nominee. I might automatically rate it 5 stars, and we ain't even had it yet. It's going to – I think it'll be better than last year's War Games with the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes with KO and Drew McIntyre. But I'm overreacting here. I'm excited. I mean, it was you gotta get a good faction to lead it to this, and that faction last year that faction was the Bloodline. This year the faction's Judgment Day. So I can't wait. I wish I was doing a watch along for it, but I'm gonna be at a big rivalry game that night. I'm gonna be at the LSU Texas A&M game, so I'm gonna watch it probably the next day. I can't wait. And we do have some friends that are going. I know our buddy Tino is going to be over there attending War Games. I don't know. Is Tim going? Is Tim King going to Survivor Series? Probably the only pay-per-view I approve to be in Chicago. Like, I'll give Chicago this one. I won't give them All Out or whatever the fuck else they had over the years. I'll give them Bound for Glory, too. But, well, guys, 3 years has been done. Let's try and get to year number 4. I know we're gonna have a more fun year ahead of us, but 3 years, long time. We nailed this one out. This one was fun. We didn't want to keep it too long, so you know where to find us. Our Twitter names are right below us. Podcasts on Twitter at World Elite Pod. You know the usual. Subscribe to us on YouTube to watch our live streams by StreamYard anytime on demand. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts on any audio platforms. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating and review. Big thank you to our sponsor, 80s Tees. Go to 80stees.com. Use our promo code World Elite to get 30% off. Do you guys have any last words on 3 years of being the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment?
Yeah, just 3 years down, and I just can't wait to see what this next year has to offer us. It's been a hell of a journey. We had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but we only can focus on the ups because when it comes to the show, I never think about the negative. I only think about the positive, and it's only going to be nothing but positivity going up. And I just can't wait to see what's in store for us next. We have more prediction shows coming at the end of the year. We got our end of year awards, which is around my birthday, and it's going to be a blast. So honestly, I wouldn't want to do this with any 2 other guys other than y'all. So let's continue doing this, and let's just keep having fun the way we are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this was a blast. 3 years down and more to come. Can't wait.
Hell yeah. Bumpy year, but hell, we still had a lot of great memories and moments that happened even during the tough times. Justin, we did a toast before the intro kicked off. I can't wait to see what we do when we get to 4 years, and even if we get to 300 audio episodes. We still got a long way to go for that. Also, I think right now we currently sit at 218 audio episodes. And we recorded the 200th episode on March 24th, 2023. We did greatest WWE champions for that.
Yeah.
So, big thank you to all the love and support we've had these last 3 years through the good and the bad. Big thank you to everyone tuning in tonight. We appreciate all the congrats on making it 3 years and keep on going more. Thank you to everyone also in the tweets. We love you guys, and we love your shows and content. We'll continue to support you guys just like you guys support us. And let's go on our journey to get to year 4 of the World Elite Podcast. But thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. Be sure to check out SAT Sports tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on YouTube. And you will find us again. I can't tell you what day we're going to record just yet, but we will see you guys again right here on Facebook and YouTube. Y'all have a good one. And again, thank you for the love.